All right, guys, welcome back. So where we left off before, we was finishing up doing the exhaust, and we were doing a like an emery cloth sandpaper slash on the split mandrel. So now we're going to go in with Scotch Brite. This stuff works really well. It's super cheap, which is a good thing. So anyway, so I just go in here like this and just give her some turns. I put a little bit of lubricant on it just to give it that little extra. I did it off camera. The only thing I really did is I did it a couple of seconds at low speed, dry, and then I switched to the lubricant. The lubricant kind of helps it give a little better polish. You can really open this thing up here and let her eat. These Fordhams are awesome. Little pro tip here: don't pull the mandrel out before it stops. Trust me, it is not fun. It will sling stuff all over you. And the same way with starting it. When you start it, just remember have it in the hole first, because it will make a mess. Alright, now I'll have to take a look at it. And you can see now it's a lot smoother. I can't tell on my point of view if you can see or not, but I'm going to try to get you in here to at least get an idea of what it looks like. So if you can see there, I have to walk outside. The lighting in here is terrible in my shop. Even with all this extra light, it's just not the best in the world. Anyway, so what I'll do is then I'll reverse the motor, and that way I can use both sides of my cloth here. See how it's spinning this way. So I'll get it started like I did before with the paper. Let's pull it down on there a little bit. You run this thing at full tilt and it'll sling in a hurry. So start my paper backwards. So that way I get both sides, because if it folds over you don't get the use of both sides. So then I'll run it back in reverse. At first it'll sound a little weird, but once you'll tell when it breaks loose. You can do this with a Dremel tool too. You don't have to have fancy stuff. When I first started, I had the bare minimum. Basically just an old cheap Dremel. Of course they burn up if you use them enough. I think mine gave up the ghost a few years ago, just because I used it so much. But you'll spend money over time buying less than quality stuff. I learned that the hard way. It'll usually come back and haunt you. So if you're looking to get into this as a profession or as something like that, as a side job, then you need to invest in your tooling. If you're looking at getting into it just for maybe one or two saws or just for fun or what have you, then I would say, you'd be fine with just a Dremel. Alright, so about one more pass or two here. Put in a little bit more lubricant. Just helps with that final shine. And you can go as far as this if you want to. You can. There's endless time you could spend on this, but I give my customers their money's worth. But in return, I can't sit here and make something literally look like a mirror. Now, will it be shiny? Will it be smooth? Will it be everything anybody would expect or as good as anybody else's work? Yeah. But if it was my own, or I was building a race saw, you know, I might spend a little bit more time on it, but not saying I'm shortchanging anybody. I'm just saying you got to be realistic in your goals. This is just an old cloth here, a screwdriver stuck in it, just to kind of clean out all that debris. But anyway, if you're doing this for a living, you know, I'm booked up usually a month or more out, and that's not counting the random stuff I have come in, people wanting done, or just, you know, a couple of commercial accounts I have for repairs, which I'm trying to slowly get out of the repairs because it's just getting parts and the time that it takes is just to do these repairs is just starting to take up more time than it's worth. But anyway, so here's what we got. Finished product other than cleaning. I give it a good clean. Oh, another tip. Rub your finger inside when you get done pouring. Make sure you don't have any sharp edges. If you've got any sharp edges and don't bevel them, they'll catch a ring. And if it catches a ring, it'll break your ring, and it'll really mess up a cylinder. So run your finger inside there. It's hard to do when it's so dirty, but I hate to wash it and dry it and then have to come back and get it all dirty again. Anyway, you can run your finger in there. If it feels sharp to your finger, then it's probably going to be too sharp to the ring. And there's something there again. It's just a feel you kind of got to get used to. But anyway, so I don't know if you can see, probably not. But that's the inside. We did a little bit of transfer work, not much on these saws. Just a little certain angle here and there. Widen the exhaust. The intake side's really narrow, especially on that vertical port. So you got to be careful on these. There's not a whole lot of room in there. And there again, this ain't a DIY video. This is more just giving you an idea of kind of what goes on. If you're thinking about getting a saw ported or thinking about porting one on your own, you know, kind of some ideas things that you can run into. So you can see there's pretty good shine. You know, I could go a little bit more, but there again, in the sake of time and the customer, you know, what they're paying for, that's pretty much it. But anyway, I'll come back with another one. If you'd like some videos, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe. I'm not a YouTube person. I don't want to be a YouTube person, but I want to show people that what people do that do this and they're legit versus some of the people out there that are taking advantage of somebody that's buying a quote unquote, imported saw or built saw, and they're not getting what they're paying for. So you can ask these questions. Hey, what does that consist of? What do you do? Not that you want to know their tricks and tips, but just an idea of, do they know what they're talking about, or are they just pulling your chain? So unfortunately, there's people in every line of work that's like that. That's not exactly the what word am I looking for? The most honest folks. So anyway, like and subscribe. There again, it helps the channel, even if you just want to cut your subscriptions notices off. You know, that helps with me and the views, and it gets out there, and more people are kind of know what to look for. You know, I don't want somebody to get taken advantage of. So that's the name of the game. My customers come first. YouTube is way down on the list after pretty much everything else. So anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you guys, and come back later.